for Green from The Athletic at Nico. If you had to describe the flex offense succinctly, what would be your?
Yeah, you've done your homework already, huh? But
Not very much.
okay, yeah, it's it's a 4-out-1 offense, and it's dictated on playing unselfish basketball, finding the open man, and working as a team to find the best shot. But we'll have to see. Coach Nurse has a great offensive system in place already, so hopefully we can add a couple of elements to that. What's already guys are very familiar with.
This is especially when with Pascal out to start the season. This is a team that doesn't have the natural tonight type guy. Do you think that can help or be advantageous to a group like that versus a team that does have that sort of?
Yeah, it's the good part about preseason that everything's on the table. That we can experiment a little bit, find out what works for us, what doesn't work for us. It's really getting the guys on the court to have that chemistry and to pass up maybe a good shot to get a great shot. And that's once you get a team in that frame of mind, it's fun to play out on the court. So we're really working at the moment to getting the guys into the spots and spacing and the reads. But Pascal's a pretty good player to have on the court. You're a good team when he's on the floor.
Hey, Trevor, it's Doug Smith.
Hey, Doug.
How are you? Nice to meet you. Why now? Why did you come now? I presume there would have been opportunities in the past. What was?
Yeah, look, I was quite comfortable in Perth. Been there for 8 years and built up a pretty good program from a great organisation. So it was the relationship I had with Coach Nurse, and we were talking for a few years, and he had a couple of changes in the staff, and it was really, can I put my head on the pillow and say, you're going to say no to the NBA? And it was, it's tough, it's hard, especially being away from my family, but it's also a great work environment. Coach is very open, experimenting, trying to find the next thing, and is not closed mind. So professionally, it's a no-brainer.
What was your relationship with Nick? What's its genesis? How did you know?
Yeah, we had a lot of mutual friends, and I hadn't really met him at all before 2019. He came over to Perth with the Canadian team before the World Championships. So I ran into a couple of times in Summer League that he probably wouldn't remember who I was, but then he came to Perth, and it was more of a reach out and to pick his brains. I was after pick his brains for the Perth Wildcats, and we just stayed in contact from there, and I'd shoot him off different ideas, and then I'd ask him how we defend stuff that I was having problems with, and we just built a rapport up over a couple of years. So it's been a great relationship.
Was it like an exchange program since Scotty Morris?
Yeah, it's funny how that worked out, isn't it? It's bizarre. But one thing about basketball, it's a small world. You know people that it's one phone call away to find out about people. So I'm happy that Scotty got a job with the Wildcats. It's a great organisation, and I wish him all the best.
Hey, Trevor. Mike Dancer with the Toronto Sun.
Hey, Mike.
You mentioned that 2019 when Nick went over with the Canadians. How much time did you actually spend with them through that? Like, they were there for, I think it was.
Yeah, no, obviously we were in contact with the Flames, just our schedules. We were in our preseason, so our worlds didn't meet up too many times, but we had enough time to catch up. And I took him down to show our beautiful beaches in Perth, and we went for a little bit of a ride in the car for a couple of hours and just really picking his brains. And I never thought the NBA would be there. It was more so, what can I get out of him that helped the Wildcats? So it's been a great relationship, and just being in this environment, it's so open. He's not closed-minded like a lot of coaches are, and this is the way we do it, and you got to do it. He's wants to find the best way. He doesn't care whose idea it is, as long as it's the best way to help the team. And when you're in that environment, you be creative and you find things. And it's a really, really good thing to have to flourish and develop.
How tough was that conversation with the family?
Yeah, no, that was pretty tough. Actually, I got the phone call from Bobby Webbs. I was in the car with my 13-year-old driving into work and had him on speaker, and he's up there smiling. I said, "Shh, you got to be quiet. I'm on the phone with Bobby." But he was, it was great to be able to share that with my son. That was a big Philly fan, but now we soon turn that around to make it the Raptors fan. So, yeah, look, it's an opportunity, and I could be in the league for 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, who knows? But we're going to do the best we can while we're here.
Hey, Trevor, Josh Woodberg.
Hey, Josh.
Anything surprise you about this group so far? I know it's only been a few days, but what did you know about them, and what have you seen from them?
Yeah, I did a fair bit of work on most of the guys and been with the team since summer league, so build up those relationships. The NBA, everything's just bigger. It's bigger players, it's a bigger court, it's a bigger team, bigger squad, bigger coaching staff. Everything is much bigger and quicker and stronger. And but once you get on the court, it's just basketball, and that's been really good for me because that's where my comfort zone is. And this group is long, athletic. Can really disrupt the ball with 6'8", 6'9" guarding the ball and quickness. Some of those elements are going to be really fun to coach and try to bring the best out in the team with that.
I know in the past, Nick has really alternated the responsibilities amongst the assistants almost by week or by month or whatever it is. Does that sound like that's going to be the plan again, or do different guys have different?
Yeah, correct on both. I think we're going to change up, and that's a part of Nick being the head coach. He wants to develop the assistant coaches as well. He doesn't want to pigeonhole you in one area and just specialize in that. He wants to open up to, defense, to special teams, to a whole range of different elements of the game. And that's improves you as a coach overall. So, it's a lot of work, but it's also exciting. Cheers, mate.
Hey, Trevor. Stephen Williams, Sportsnet. What was it about this? There wasn't anything specific.
Yeah, just a lot of elements. Obviously, Nick was the focal point, having the relationship and coming into an organisation that's won in the past as a good culture, well, a great culture already in place. And, they're very attractive elements. If a position happened elsewhere that didn't have those things, it would be, a really big area of concern. But, I get the blessing of my wife and kids. Well, my son said yes, he wanted to pack the bags and come, and my daughter's a little bit upset, missing a friend. So, if I didn't have that support back home, I wouldn't have definitely come over.
Was there any talk about the kids coming, or just too difficult?
No, Australia's school system's a little bit different. Their school year finishes in December. So, yeah, we wanted to make sure they finish their school year first and then come over in the freezing cold in January. That's a hard sale. I haven't got it done yet, especially when it's summer in Australia. So, yeah, exactly. But we'll hopefully, fingers crossed.
How old are you?
My boy Taj is 13 and Shay is 11. Yep.
Hey, Trevor, Vivek Jacob, Raptors.com.
Nice to meet you.
What was time?
Yeah, and that's when you get creative. If you're in an organization that you're getting shut down all the time and it's a no, you get very closed-minded with that. Nick is very open. He wants different ideas. He wants you to come, from a different angle. He wants, for my role, it was more so of a head coaching experience. I've coached, close to 20 years all over, from juniors, seniors in a professional, over here in the CBA, over in Asia, a bit of the international scheme with the Boomers. So he certainly wants a different angle to come at him. And, it's been great so far. I've got a whole list. I just don't want to hit him all at once. I got to space it out and give him some breathing space before he he says, Trevor, that's too much, just hang on. But, you know, it's a great environment. The coaching staff with AG, with Earl, you know, and Coach Nate, you know, it's just a really, really good coaching staff, and I'm happy to be a part of them.
I saw that Australia recently changed their travel restrictions. How much of a relief is that for you?
Yeah, hopefully they'll change a little bit more. Obviously being the most isolated country in the world, and being in Perth is the most isolated city in the world, it comes in handy in COVID. But yeah, I flew over here in the start of August, and there was it was a 787, which seats, you know, nearly 400 people. There was 22 people on the plane. So not a lot of international travel at the moment. And then you have to have a permit to get out of the country. So, you know, hopefully that'll start to open up a little bit. I'm being selfish for my family to come over.
How difficult was getting that permit?
Yeah, you got to jump through the red tape, and you know, you have to leave the country for a minimum of 3 months, and have to have a reason. You just can't pack up and leave and say, I'm going for a holiday. It's, you know, it's probably on a slow intake on the vaccination rate in Australia. It's kind of hampered. It's been good one way that COVID hasn't got too out of hand, although the last couple of months it has. But yeah, it's been good that way.
Trevor, Aaron Rose from SI.com.
Hi, Aaron.
Where does your relationship with the Flex come from? When did that start?
Yeah, good question. I used to coach in Australia, and the legendary coach over there, Lindsay Gaze, used to run the shuffle, and it used to upset me all the time that I make a mistake and he get a layup. And then I started watching some more international, and I think it might have been 2004 or 2006, Argentina was running it with Ginobili, and they won the world championship with it. And I thought, okay. And it really started as a secondary offense, and then it just evolved out of that. It was, you know, I wanted to get my best players the ball in their hands at the right spot, and, you know, play unselfish basketball to have a counter if that got taken. And it really developed out of that, and being successful, and a lot of teams threw a lot of different looks at it, and we figured a way how to manipulate it to get some good looks. So it's been successful for last 10 years that I've been using it.
So much of the NBA is like, give the ball to your best player, get out. Why do you think that sort of this offense or international idea for not someone will transition well?
I think that the NBA's changed in the last, you know, 6, 8 years. It used to be like I came over here and coached in the CBA in 2000 to 2004, and it was more isolated ball. You know, it's get the 3 guys on the other side, isolate, get your best player, and now with the international players coming through that can make passes, cuts, and reads, the NBA has really developed into that. You know, and obviously you still want your rock stars getting the ball at the right time. But I think the NBA is moving towards that more international share in the ball. Not all teams are, but most the teams that's successful have, you know, a 3-prong attack out there. So hopefully we might be able to use some of those elements into the near future.
How does Toronto compare to Sioux Falls?
Yeah, a little bit warmer at the moment. I'm not ready for the cold. I didn't know how valuable underground car parking was until I went to Sioux Falls. And if you didn't have a scarf on, you could actually feel your earlobes and your eyebrows would snap off because it's so cold out there. But yeah, hopefully that I got to walk. What is it? The path underneath? I haven't been there. I've been scared. Everyone tells me I'll get lost. So
100%.
so I got to work that into when it gets cooler.
I still get lost down there.
Yeah, well, that's reassuring, Dad. Okay, thanks, guys. Nice to meet you. Cheers.